Good morning, Benedictians. The sun has risen. A new day has come, so get out of bed and start making coffee or choco.
Good morning, everyone. Did you guys had a good night's sleep?
Of course, everyone slept well, buddy. Then again, good morning, everyone. You know what, buddy? Recently, Benedictians has been concerned about Philippines' oral literary traditions.
What do you mean, buddy?
Well, we are all aware that people nowadays do not engage with this anymore and call it lame and all, or is it?
That is why we are here to talk about the importance of reviving it, buddy.
Oh yes, buddy! Benedictians, make sure to stay tuned for more information. I am Graciel Martinez.
And I am Ryzen Paulo, your host for the day. And you are watching Let's Talk. Before we call on our guest who we are going to interview for today, let us recall some of literary traditions we know. So, ladies first, buddy.
OMG, buddy! I know so much you cannot count.
Oh, really? Care to share?
There is a certain oral literary that sends shivers down my spine every time I hear it. Are you guys familiar with the lullaby entitled Ili Ili Anilongo Lullaby that goes like this? Ili Ili tulog anay wala diri imong nanay. It was a song that was played in a horror movie entitled White Lady starring Pauline Luna. In addition, yes, I'm still petrified of the songs.
Oh, wow, a singer. My turn. There is a phrase that I can recall saying, "I watch pot never boils." Sounds crazy, but believe it or not, I still believe this saying.
Are you forgetting something, buddy?
Oh yes, I nearly forgot. Let us welcome our guest for today, fresh from the shower, Miss Cheryl Tubies. Yes, looking dashing, mama.
I know, right?
Okay, next, Mr. Charles Abiles.
Mr. Abiles, nice coat.
Oh, thank you for that. Do you want it? Then buy one.
Miss Angela Oka, looking good, miss.
Thank you, Graciel. You too.
Mr. Greg Tapawat, looking confident. Sir, I like it.
Yeah, woke up like this.
Miss Jana Abanil. Yes, looking so bright.
Thank you, and you too.
Okay, the last but not the least, Francis Leonen. Let us give a round of applause to our dashing guests who are here to discuss the importance of reviving oral literary traditions in the 21st century.
How are you guys coping up with the new normal? Everything alright?
Yes.
Things has been tough, but we can get through this.
I agree with Miss Jana. We can get through this in one piece.
Is there something you guys want to tell the Benedictians before we begin?
I think I have one.
Go ahead, sir.
I know things have been hard these days, but always remember, the validation does not go for a lifetime. Today may be bad, but always remember, there is always a tomorrow.
Mr. Greg Tapawan, but a wise and good man as well.
So, let's start, everyone.
Today we will be talking about the importance of reviving oral literary traditions in the 21st century. To have a better understanding in these events, we will talk with Mr. Abiles along with Mr. Greg, Mr. Leonin, Miss Tubis, and Miss Abani.
Well, you don't need to call us formally.
Oh yes! Okay, so here it goes. Buddy, care to start?
I would be honored too, buddy.
Go easy on them, buddy.
How do you guys explain oral literary tradition?
Well, oral literary tradition or folk literature is a literature that is spoken or sung as opposed to that which is written, though much oral literature has been transcribed.
There is actually no standard definition, as folklorists like us having varying descriptions for oral literature or folk literature.
I heard that oral literature has different types. Can you enlighten us?
Oral literature is a broad term which may include ritual texts, curative chants, epic poems, musical genres, folk tales, creation tales, songs, myths, spells, legends, proverbs, riddles, tongue twisters, word games, recitations, life histories, or historical narratives.
There is so much, but there is something bothering me now.
What is it, buddy?
Well, there is written literature and there is oral literature. What is their difference?
Well, hence from the name oral literature is passed down from generation to generation through speaking or telling a story. In short, it is not written. While written literature, again, hence from the name, it is passed down from generation to generation in a way of writing, or it is written in books and such.
Oh, so that is their difference.
Now you know, buddy.
Moving on, here is another question. What is this called oral literary traditions means to you?
Well, oral literary traditions has been there as we grew up. I mean, we all do, right? Told as a child, remembering as an adult. Used as a reminder, used to scare children and even adults in some points. In short, it means my whole life. Not having it in the future can make my life meaningless as it is. Hence, this being dramatic, but I miss the times when my mother or grandmother will just out of the blue tell me these oral traditions that I actually hold on to. The aesthetic feel that I felt as I remember those, I want the new generation to feel that.
They say time is gold, but what makes it gold? It passes. Oral literary traditions is there since who knows when. There is a trending where things made from before are valuable and are both triple or four times the price. My point is, we should value the things that came from the times when houses were still stone. For me, oral literary traditions means time, wherein we should value before it passes.
For me, oral literary tradition means communication. It was said earlier that it is passed down from generation to generation by mouth and in communication. Mouth or speaking is one of the most crucial or important parts. When we engage in this kind of folklore, people can create bond and be close to each other.
Very well said, Mom and Sir. I like how you put things in a perspective so unique.
You know, buddy, what they said really softened me from the inside. It touched my heart. So that is what it means to someone who truly loves the folklore.
On we go. Here is the next question. Why do we need to revive oral literary traditions? What is oral literary tradition condition in this century?
What? Revive?
Well, I reckon that it is not fully dead.
Yes.
And for further explanation, Angelica, care to elaborate?
Sure.
Oh, that's a little tricky, buddy.
Well, things ought to get tricky at some point, buddy.
I like your style. Do it again.
Well, first, revive, because there are people like us who are still interested in oral literary traditions, though numbers are quite flattened tenfold in the last few years. It is not fully dead, so that is why we are here to persuade some people to engage with oral traditions, for the future to be able to see these traditions. Lastly, I am going straight to the point, guys. Oral literary tradition is in the edge of the cliff or is in danger.
Wow, it's that worst? I never thought since our place it is still alive and kicking.
Well, sorry to disappoint, but people grow up in different households with different mindsets and beliefs.
That is right. Moving on, why do we need to save oral literary tradition in our country?
Philippine literature is beautiful, and its oral tradition is exceptional. It is beautiful that it makes me feel shivers every time I hear some.
It really is, Francis.
Its beauty is timeless, just that not all can see the beauty it flatters. I dare people who are hearing this, who are saying oral literature is lame to read or hear, try to listen, and give a thorough understanding to this. I guarantee those people will soon come knocking at the door.
According to my observations and proved by the researchers made by people, 21st century lacks closeness, communication, or physical bonding. It is no doubt that technology is the main suspect to that.
I agree to that.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, as we engage to the virtual world, people are forgetting how to interact with people face to face. And to solve, why not try to bond by telling stories or sharing one's knowledge of oral literary? I won't force you into looking back in time, but it is a crime to ask you to take a glimpse of it. People before used to sit down and tell stories, and all you can hear are laughs of kids who are having fun, not sit down, grab your phone, and hear First Blood, Welcome to Mobile Legends, or Pick Up My Dog Tag, and even hear complaints and trash talks. Why not try to sit down, talk to your grandma or uncle? Entertainment and bond is provided.
Wow, that made me realize some things.
What do you think will happen when we fail to revive it in our country, culture, and tradition?
All I can say is that people who won't be able to see or hear the beauty of it will be living with a missing piece all their life.
What I can picture is that it won't be missed, yes, but it will be treasured by the right person in the right time.
Things forgotten are gold. I like that, mister.
Buddy, then I'm a gold?
Buddy, you know, I feel you.
If it does happen one day, what I can say is the lesson it left is what always matters.
Ouch, hits me hard.
That's foul, sir.
What can you say to people who are no longer giving meaning to this? Give your answer in 5 words.
You are missing the fun.
Old but gold, not lame.
You guys heard that you are missing the fun.
Old but gold. I like that. to those people out there. I mean, all are really missing the fun.
That's why, partner, I do really believe in the quotation, you only live once. So, don't miss all the fun.
That's very right, buddy. Moving on to the last part of our season. Buddy, let's ask our guests a one specific question.
Hmm, that's very interesting, partner. Let's get into it.
Yes, for the last question, for you all, what the best effect of the oral literary tradition that changed your life?
For me, it really helps the folklores to be known in the present times. Folklores are cultural heritages and assertions, among others. It acts as an expression of history and oral traditions. It includes epics, myths, legends, fairy tales, fables, proverbs, riddles, songs, jokes, shout from street sellers, prayers, and festival that hugely affect my childhood life up to now. These folklores helps me to build my moral and mental aspects of my life. It changed my perspectives and also helped me in interacting with other people.
Wow, that was nice self-testimony, right, buddy? I also grew up in reading these folklores, especially the riddles and fables.
Me too, buddy. My favorite fable is The Lion and the Mouse.
How about Mr. Abiles? Care to share?
Yes, of course. Oral literary tradition really helps me in valuing things. I know most of the people today are not very much oriented in these literatures, but after discovering it by myself, I swear I learned to value things, especially in the past. Time is really gold, so let's cherish all these things not only today but all the time.
Wow, the powerful quote of the day. Time is really gold. Thank you, Mr. Abiles. How about this energetic guest? We have Miss Oka. I can see how excited you are. Let's see what you got.
Well, mine is a little different. Because, frankly speaking, oral literary tradition really helps my memory ability. As we all know, they are mostly written in the past era, right? And we need to recall it so that we can learn and study about these literatures. Thus, after so many recalling that I did, it came to the point that I can easily remember things.
That was really cute, partner. I can see myself because I always tend to forget things.
Well, that's a fact, buddy. For more than 3 years that we are together in doing shows, I am one of the testimonies.
That's right. Anyways, let's get back for our question. Let us, Mrs. Abinil, what is the effect of oral literary tradition in your life?
Thank you so much for the question. It affects the way I'm interacting with other people. Just like Cheryl and Tubis, it do really enhance my vocabulary ability, especially in speaking and talking with other people. I gained my confidence in talking with full knowledge and no hesitation in speaking my words.
Let's see our last guest, Mr. Leonel. What's your experience?
Based on my self-encounter, it helps me to love the literature. Some of the people nowadays engages in different forms of literature, especially that we are mostly using online platforms. I'm happy for that though. But literature is more than just a book or anything. It is one of our sources of communication and almost half of my life because I do really love reading books. Just like loving someone, you don't just love her by her looks or how others see her, but you'll love her fully and just the way she is. So, same as literature. I hope everyone will have an interest, not just the literature today, but also the literature itself. Thank you.
That's very meaningful. Thank you very much.
As the sayings goes, buddy, we lose ourselves in books. We find ourselves there too.
That's right. And we're done, partner.
Wow, that's it? It feels like a short time, buddy, because I do really enjoy our discussion today.
As well as a body, our podcast is very influential in educating. I hope the listeners learn many things to write Benedictians.
Yes, partner, but still, this is not the end. We will just take a break for a while.
And of course, thank you for our visitor today. We really appreciate the effort and time you exert in this podcast.
Without our visitors, this podcast will not be educating and fun at all.
Yes, buddy, let's clap our hands to Miss Tubis, Miss Abenil, Miss Oka, Mr. Leonin, Mr. Tapawan, and lastly, Mr. Apides. Thank you for joining us today, Mrs. and Mr.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in more than 15 minutes in this podcast. Again, this is your host, Ryzen Paulo.
And this is Graciela Martinez.
If you love our show, Let's Talk, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes. Until next time,
Always remember, wherever you go,
and no matter what is the weather,
always bring your own sunshine. Good day, everyone!
Little oases of language, assurances to console the living, how the shell of the once familiar body, dissolved in rain into the sod, is yet alive somewhere, above the scream of trees, beyond our fragile line of sight. It goes on living, the minister says, just as we go on living. As we rise with first light, impelled by the thin pencil stroke of salt in the air, herbal and almost sweet, making importunate demands. What's dark if not the catalyst of desire? Or is this merely my particular failing to beg intention from such fleeting randomness, though overexposed and seductive? Purchase old-fashioned word meaning to tether and bind at cost, where in biblical text is the camel that will not pass through the eye of the needle, but instead turns round and round, wanting a glimpse of orange linen threaded through its halter. Someone knocks at the gate, and is let into a courtyard. Little children come out to slide in cardboard boxes, down a cobbled lane. What have I held in my arms and loved? Above the fenced-in houses, light that strike the first or class chords trembling the leaves, only keep me what I may. Once in the night, like a weather vane, I turned to the sound of another, warm breath in my ear, mouthing a name, rivulet folding back in water.
My Muse by Jose Rizal. Invoke no longer is the muse. The lyre is out of date. The poets is no longer use, and youth its inspiration now imbues with other form and state. If today our fancies aught of verse would still require, Helicon's hill remain unsought, and without heed we but inquire why the coffee is not brought. In the place of thought sincere, that our hearts may feel, we must seize a pen of steel, and with verse and line severe, fling abroad a jest and jeer. Muse that in the past inspired me, and with songs of love has fired me. Go down now to dollar spuns, for today in sordid prose I must earn the gold that hired me. Now I must ponder deeply, meditate and struggle on, and sometimes I must weep, for he who love would keep, great pain has undergone. Fled are the days of ease, the days of love's delight. when flowers will still please, and give to suffering souls surprise, from pain and sorrows brighten. One by one they have passed on, all I loved and moved among, dead or married from me gone, for all I place my heart upon, by fate adverse are stung. Go thou, too, O Muse, depart, other regions fairer find, for my land but offers art, for the laurel chains that bind, for a temple prisons blind. But before thou leaves me, speak, tell me why thy voice sublime, thou couldst ever from me seek, a song of sorrow for the weak, defiance to the tyrant's crime.
To the Philippines, that was written by Rizal. A glowing and fair like a houri on high, full of grace and pure like the morn that peeps, when in the sky and clouds are tinted blue, the Indian land a goddess sleep. The light foam of the soundless sea, that kiss her feet with loving desire, the cultured west adore her smile, and the frosty pole her flowered attire. With tenderness, stammering my muse, to her maids, undines, and knights thus sing. I offer her my fortune and bliss. O artist, her broad chase ring, with myrtle green and roses red, and lilies, and extol the Philippines.
Moonlight on Manila Bay. Moonlight on Manila Bay. Fernando E. Maramag. A light serene, ethereal glory rests, its beam effulgent on each cresting wave. The silver touches of the moonlight leave, the deep's bare bosom that the breeze molests, while lingering whispers depend as the wavy crest. Roll with weird rhythm, now gay, now gently grave, and flood of lambent light appeared to save the pave. All cast a spell that heeds not time's behest. Not always such the scene, the dim of fight has swelled the murmur of the peaceful air. Here east and west have oft displayed their might. Dark battle clouds have dimmed this scene so fair. Here bold Olympia, one historic night, presaging freedom, claimed a people's care.
Filipinos are hardworking and responsible, friendly to others and all hospitable, good moral values and respectful most of all, with long patience and all lovable. Filipinos help each other, whether rich or poor, for those who need especially in the neighbor. Filipinos are brave and pride they stand for, to protect and fight for country are worth dying for. Filipinos are always smiling, though some nation keep on insulting, for being simple, low status of living, but heart and mind are rich human being. I'm proud to be Filipino, in blood and skin. The religion of Christianity, in God we believed in. The own mother tongue we use, and for grandchildren, the culture and tradition from Asian till next generation. Filipino by Judith Kempis.